Can somebody tell me why I constantly get locked up ever since I've known Vertin? First locked up in a suitcase, then a Foundation cell, now this! Oh, what else could it be if Vertin weren't the jinx? Lads! I know what's going on! You got the wrong person! She is the most irrational number here! I'm knocked. What does it say here? Freedom will be granted once the proof is completed. That's to say, I have to prove myself not an irrational number to get out of here. Which is exactly what I've been trying to do, isn't it? Rat!
Captain, maybe you're in the wrong direction. This apple presumes that the followers on this island have a close connection with Pythagoreanism.
Pythagoras? That ancient Greek mathematician? The guy who said something about the opposite side of a right triangle? Isn't he the guy who lives in sometime BC?
Maths is only a part of the Pythagoreans' achievement, but from a more universal perspective, they are a mysterious group of scholars. Believing things are made up of numbers, venerating integer numbers, abstaining from beans, and the religious collective lifestyle, these are all pointing to Pythagoreanism. The earliest Pythagorean school perished because of the discovery of irrational numbers, which explains their odium of it. At that time, a deviant student named Hippasus discovered root 2, and the theories based on the ratio of integers they hold dear were upended. Hippasus himself was drowned in the sea. This apple assumes they see the integers as the standard of virtue, and people can increase the number they rank through study and self-improvement. Besides, they are convinced that a numerical code is hidden in everything and everyone. Whoever can solve the code can obtain the truth of the world.
All right, now I know what's going on. This pirate has had enough of this moral standard, which is obviously prudish, backward, and lacks humanitarian spirit. I'm going to tackle the root cause of this misfortune. I'm breaking out!
Why am I not surprised? The captain quickly gives the sufficient and prerequisite condition to prove herself an irrational number. This apple may be able to offer some help.
What's happening? An earthquake?
All Abraxases are flying in the same direction. Is this their habit, or...?
Ah! The roof is about to collapse! So far, this place has made the London Juvenile Detention Centre a heaven on earth. Is there a piece of paper? Did one of the Abraxases drop this? Strange. The unsolvable puzzle. Is this a math problem? 0.4, 0.7, 1, 1.6, 2.8, 5.2, 10 and 19.6. 8 numbers in total are listed in this order.
There are 8 symbols below, respectively representing the Sun, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn and Uranus. Maybe it is a hint that we should fill the symbols in the blank box after the numbers. That sign says to complete the proof. Does it mean to solve this puzzle?
Ha! How unsolvable can it be? Clearly, each of these 8 numbers should represent one planet. We can easily find the missing planet by trying them one by one. And our Mr. Apple here is the king of the Times crossword. Yes?
I think there is a difference between this and a crossword. In this Apple's humble opinion, the ratio of certain numbers should match this number sequence, such as the radius, volume, or rotation period.
Wouldn't the sun be absurdly large if these numbers stand for their sizes? Hey! The underground critters are back! Go away! Don't touch my notes! It's not your food!
What interesting accident will happen next?
Merci, brave. Fight for the unarmed. The sword is drawn.
My apologies. Don't beat me.
Where do I?
Uh-huh.
Oh, hi.
Whoops. An accident. Don't worry. Let's have a cup of tea. My apologies. Don't beat me. Hey, you will be sorry.
Merci,
Wow.
brave. Never hesitate. Never hesitate. Dang, dang. Follow Brave. His trumpets sound. The judgment day has come. Merci.
Mind the machines on the ground. Bang. Don't worry. Let's have a cup of tea.
Never hesitate.
Sterilized.
Wow.
Go! 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 Puppies! 3 hours, 15 minutes left. No, nothing. Let's move on to the next.
Hold on, please, Captain. Seems like the critters are trying to tell us something. They are pointing at the sign of the sun.
Is that so? Even the critters on this island know math. The sun. What if the sun is just here to serve as a reference point? I read an IAU's report in the Times 2 years ago. You know, the International Astronomical Union. Earth's average distance to the Sun is approximately 93 million miles. As for Mercury, the average distance is 36 million, and Venus 67 billion miles. Let's say if we take the distance between Earth and the Sun as one astronomical unit, then the distance between the Sun and Mercury would be approximately 0.4 units, and Venus 0.7 units. There you go. These numbers are the ratio of their average distance to the Sun to the Earth-Sun distance.
The average distance from Mars to the Sun is about 142 million miles, Jupiter about 484 million miles, Saturn 886 million miles, and Uranus 1.786 billion miles. By rough calculation, and if we round the results to one decimal place, Mars would be 1.6 unit, Jupiter 5.2 unit, Saturn 10 unit, and Uranus 19.6 unit. That's weird. All these numbers one can hardly remember have become so clear in my mind.
But if these numbers stand for the ratio of distance, what's the planet for 2.8? There's no planet between Mars and Jupiter.
If the Sun is the reference, we will have one planet missing here. Is it really a puzzle unsolvable?
Aha! Nothing is unsolvable. You are looking at the solution. There must be one planet out there, unknown to us as of yet, located between Mars and Jupiter. What now? What is this? A celestial body, which I have never seen before.
Captain, this apple has an impression on this. There is indeed a star between Mars and Jupiter. It is called the Ceres, discovered by Piazzi Giuseppe, an Italian priest in 1801.
Ceres. Did we just validate its existence? Is the universe truly arranged according to this sequence? Could this be the ultimate key of everything?
Regulus! Regulus!
What are you doing? Got food poisoning after accidentally eating one of those critters?
Odd. My head hurts. What was that?
I'll make it short. Stanetta is in detention. They're planning to sentence her to death by giving her the poisoned wine.
Hey, what?
As you can see, but if you give them a puzzle, they will enjoy it like the best Kaiserschmarrn. Oh, my apologies. I was not talking about the one you are holding. No. With all due respect, that thing in your hand is pretty old. The mold on it seems to come from the 18th century, judging from the smell. I'm sure you know it will make you sick if eaten. But we have to admit, it is not just ordinary mold. It reminds us of the story in which, once, a merchant's son looked up at the night sky and found the answer to the stars for us. The young man firmly believed that the movement of the stars and the sun follows certain laws, just like how the delicate gears in a watch work together. And his point was even proven correct by Zeus's grandfather. When another gentleman observed the sky through the reflecting telescope he took great pains to make, a celestial body was exactly there. What was it called? 19.6. The 8th number in the sequence, the 7th planet in the solar system, and the legendary God of the Sky. If the world was not created by God, are there any theories we can use to explain such a beautiful law? Yes, the one that says it never actually exists. Anyone can see the breach in this number sequence. That is the planet, which is supposed to be the 5th number in the sequence. I mean, how come we have never seen it before, if it does exist? Either God is wrong, or we've been blind. Oh, darling, I forgot that you are one of the boring people from the modern times. You need to understand that we are talking about a forgotten masterpiece from the 18th century. Back then, everyone still believed that the imaginary creatures living on the stars got to witness the birth of God's creations, and the everlasting temperature changes up there were set to punish the exiles. Oh, how romantic. It was a beautiful dream, but it was still ended, eventually, by another discovery. The 8th planet. Not the Ceres, nor the Uranus, but a new planet. People found it through more precise astronomical data and calculation, proving that the number sequence found by the merchant's son was only a myth. Now we are clear of what we've been talking about. It's an unsolvable puzzle. It makes no sense from the very beginning. We found the Ceres because it happened to be there. It is real, and no one can deny its existence. In other words, we can perfectly prove the rationality of mathematics because we invented it. It's been a good dream, I suppose. Now, imagine that you are walking alone in the darkest valley ever, trying to drag your fragile body upward as much as possible before it is worn out. Hoarse cries squeeze their way out of your mouth to ask for a response from the gods. Suddenly, an afflatus dawns on you. The next moment, a miracle happens. You are already at the top of the mountain, witnessing the rise of a huge celestial body from the skyline. Even if it's only in your imagination, you have just witnessed the dawn of the creation, and the shock is real.
Interesting accident will happen next.
Where go?
Huh.
Get out of here!
Fight for the unarmed. Nice
My
move.
apologies. Don't beat me.
Sterilize.
Bravo.
Oh, hi.
Hey.
Dang, dang.
Rotten toes. Wear gloves.
Merci.
Sterilize. Freaking dumbass. Oh, hi.
Fight for the unarmed.
Rotten toes.
My apologies.
Dang.
Don't beat me.
Sterilize.
Huh.
Go! 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 Puppies! I'm losing my patience!
Don't worry. Let's have a cup of tea. Hey,
Toes!
you will be sorry. Just go up, huh?
Find the machines on the ground.
Bang. Please live up to my expectations, Carl. Pitch. Easy job. Wow.
Merci. Ha! Fight for the unarmed.
Hey, you will be sorry. My apologies.
Follow the will of gods. His trumpets sound. The judgment day has come.
I'm losing my patience!
Get out of here!
Dang, dang.
Bravo.
Go! 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 Puppies!
I'm losing my patience.
Never hesitate.
Wear gloves.
Merci.
I'm losing my patience.
Don't worry. Let's have a cup of tea.
The sword is drawn.
Toes.
Just
Bravo.
wow. Find the machines on the ground. Bang.
Never hesitate.
Huh? It's already over?
An old admonition is engraved here. Let no one ignorant of geometry or the irrational numbers enter. 37 told me you are the integers. She's the genius kissed by the god of truth. She can see our numbers and has never made a mistake. But I don't understand. Why would you break the silence at the meeting? I apologize, Miss Sophia. I won't defend our behavior. You may save that apology for later. If you can persuade more than half of the people to vote for your friend's commutation, perhaps she won't be sentenced to death. I have gathered some case files from the past. I hope it will be of some help. These files are... But won't you be in trouble for helping us? I have my own reasons. Integers are the living example of virtues, the standard of purification. It represents a soul existing in the world of forms, a true being. It is the floating points behind the decimal which dent the process of our overall purification. The evil, the ones who violate rules knowingly, the ones who turn a positive number into negatives, and a civil person a criminal. If integers like you would lose your life over some unintentional mistakes, wouldn't it be a great shame? Besides, I can't stand the idea of you being killed in front of me.
Not rigorous. For one thing, we still don't know Virgin and Sonetto's numbers. For another, the fact that every crow we've seen is black doesn't necessarily entail that the next crow will also be black. Even if every virtuous person we met has been an integer, we can't be certain that the next one will still be an integer. Same case for irrational numbers.
You're right, 37. But people always tend to believe that virtuous people are integers. That is what we call belief.
Correct, but not entirely correct. Everyone can make mistakes. Numbers are just numbers. They are not associated with virtues.
Unlike me, You're always right, 37.
I don't know what differs us.
Will you be at the assembly?
Yes.
Then I will leave them with you. I'm not qualified to set foot in the Hall of Truth. I have done poorly in receiving the guests. I will ask Six for my punishment after the assembly.
Huh? So you are not coming back to my laboratory? Neither will you help me review the calculation results or sort out the books?
The scripture shall not be challenged. What's more, any students here can help you in the laboratory. It doesn't have to be me.
Had I known, I would have let someone else welcome Vertin and her friends. Like 210. He loves to brag to young ladies so much that he would take the punishment willingly, right?
You were that someone else who was assigned to receive them in the first place. If I hadn't stopped you in time, how much longer would Regulus's head have stayed in your mouth? Not to mention what happened last time, and the time before that.
But the fact that I have messed up all the receptions before doesn't mean I may excel in the next one. The chances of messing up the first reception and the 100th reception are the same.
Whatever you say, you little sophist.
Everyone says so. But compliments won't help her find her number. So, Vertin, are you ready for the debate?
Does that mean you will help us?
Of course. I don't want to miss the chance.
What chance?
The chance to see your numbers. There's no greater knowledge than the knowledge of oneself. And there's no more exciting truth than the truth of oneself. I can quickly tell which types of numbers you are, but it requires proof to know the exact number of your soul. I want to know the answer before you see your own numbers. So it's 37 who proves it, not Vertin.
I'd be glad to give this chance to you.
That's boring. Let's go, Vertin. The assembly's about to start.
Outing cancelled? I'm just getting excited. Damn!
welcome. A truly marvelous hypothesis. I hope you see, dust. An excellent result. I've always believed carbuncles have a better taste. A nice result. It's almost as precious as the number 1. The mother prime numbers are unique. Wow! Those are treasures. We usually call them the
Don't worry, Timekeeper. I'll defend myself. Back in the Foundation, I once won a public debate of a similar nature. This is my duty. I won't let it get in the way of the team's investigation.
Sonetto.
By our tradition, Miss Sonetto will be given the poisoned wine, so she will be muted and stay that way forever. However, Sophia raised her objection against the decision. After giving the matter some discreet thought, I have decided it is necessary to hold an assembly and take care of it democratically. Those of you who agree to the death sentence may remain seated. Those of you who wish to commute Miss Sonetto's punishment, please put your pebble into the pot in the middle of the hall. Now, Miss Sonetto, Miss Vertin, you may defend yourselves. Until the sand in this hourglass falls to the bottom.
I am Sonetto from San Pavla Foundation. I wish all the honorable audiences here would lend me their ears to hear my defense as a humanitarian gesture.
What number are you? Defendant, the court requires an answer. What is your number?
What? Me? No, I don't have a number.
Don't waste our time. People without a number cannot stand in the Hall of Truth. All her words are void. Sentence her to death now!
'42's argument is valid. Defenders, what do you wish to contend?
What? It's valid?
Objection! record, the last time we inflicted severe punishment was in 1980 to a visitor who ate beans. He ate a carbuncle that feeds on beans. Then he was sentenced to death according to the set theory. In our scripture, eating beans is the most evil sin, which undoubtedly fits the most severe punishment. But if we are now executing people for breaking the silence at the assembly, how would it reflect our attitude towards the consumption of beans? Has the latter become less sinful? I suggest Sinetto's punishment to be commuted.
A good argument.
37's argument is deemed valid. The debate will continue.
Objection. The punishment for eating beans is to throw the offenders into the Gorgon current, while the punishment for the silence breaker is to drink poisoned wine. Among all the punishments we have, there's no other punishment more dreadful than being thrown into the Gorgon current. Because eternity and infinity are the two things we have the least knowledge of, which makes them the most ghastly punishments among all. Giving her the poisoned wine doesn't make the consumption of beans less sinful. Her argument is invalid.
Objection! Both of the crimes would fall into the same category if we are taking the punishment as a frame of reference, which is death.
Objection. The two crimes in question are not commensurable, which makes your comparison invalid.
What's this? I'm completely lost in this irrational debate. I see. So that's how it works. Timekeeper?
Relax. I will help you.
I object. Don't look at me! I'm not the one you saw. And now, I belong to this set.
Wait! I have to hide the records first.
Me? Is everyone else dead?
Let us get to know each.
Did the show begin? Excellent.
I'd like
Get
to
ready
start
to
by
step
quoting
onto the
42's first argument. People without a number cannot stand in the Hall of Truth. In that case, it's not possible for Sinetto to commit a crime in the Hall of Truth. Because she can't even be in the hall.
What?
Good point, Virtin. This is our chance to out-argue them.
Let the show begin. Illusion is enough. Ye provoked me. Malapert. Let the show begin. Huh.
These are merely clumsy sophisms. We've all seen her break the maxim.
deception. What you see cannot be submitted to the court as a transcendental fact. It's nothing but the fragments of the phenomenal world which can't be used.
Objection sustained. Please, ladies and gentlemen, keep the debate.
Since Seneto has no number, and a person without a number does not exist before the truth. Seneto thus didn't offend your truth. She didn't break any rules. Let the show begin. Thy ending is destined.
Objection! The rule breaker has a number. We can all tell that she is very likely an integer. Therefore, she should be identified as an unknown number, not void. Your sophism has failed.
42's argument is held valid. Is there anything else you'd like to add, defendant?
Tell you a secret, 13? We would call criminals negative numbers. I got it! Let the show begin. Ye provoked me. It is easy to prove Seneto's innocence. According to the law of the excluded middle, Seneto either committed a sin or committed no sin. The two statements cannot be both false at the same time. Since we consider a criminal as a negative number, and a non-criminal as a positive number, Seneto at present is considered a... That means she doesn't belong to the criminal set, or the non-criminal set. She did not commit a sin, and did not commit no sin. It's a paradox. I hereby demand to modify the criminal sentence that has been given to Seneto. Hip hip hooray!
The law of excluded middle. A good sophism. Good for you to create a paradox from one sentence of my argument. But pitifully, you've made a fatal mistake. You've taken my argument as the basis of your defense. I said people without a number should be expelled from the Hall of Truth. You don't have a number either, Miss Outsider. Based on my argument, which has also been approved by you, I argue that all your arguments are invalid.
There's no time left. 13 has a number. I saw it.
What? 37, do you know what you're saying?
Yeah. I read her number. Just now. 13's number is 0. Show begin? Excellent. Get ready to step onto the stage. Foolish! Ha! Malapert! Enough!
really provoked me. Ha! Enough! Illusion is enough. Hip hip! Hooray!
Who ate beans? It could be found given that... Uh-huh. The form is above all. It could be found. Welcome to the world of numbers. Given that, a perfect argument. Time to check my calculation. Intersect and divide. Given that, welcome to the world of numbers. It could be that. Are you a rational numbers? Intersect and divide.
Come closer. That's right. Take a few more steps and immerse yourself in the shadow, including that hat. You don't want those good ears to hear this private conversation. That pad of paper from the miss, yes, the one wielding the ruler, is quite valuable. I can tell it is of a certain age and records quite a lot of anecdotes. One visitor to the island took out a baguette from his luggage. To share it with others, he made an attempt to parcel it off. Another visitor fell to the ground and happened to sit on a quart measure and break it. You can learn the punishments for them from the paper. The former was thrown into the sea, while the latter into the further sea. Only God knows how this wine-dark sea holds so many visitors. Oh, the debate! That's really a pain in the neck for that logical, pragmatic assistant of yours, isn't it? People always tend to mark what they can't figure out as arcanists' doings, as if things would make sense once they do so. But it won't change the fact that the debate is only a game involving sophistry, improvisation, and straw man fallacy. So what makes it superior to beans, if the form is what they are really after? Anyways, whoever fools the others first will win the game. No arcanum at all. And that argument of hers is the best attraction for the audience. A special number. A 0. That's ambitious, darling, and I love it. But you need to know that infinity is the most unfamiliar thing for the people, and that's why it triggers the most curiosity. Whoever Whoever tries to eat up this elephant with one bite will get all bloated and pinned by their own weight, waiting to die like a turtle upside down. By then, I guess you would be eager to throw up the elephant and turn back into the adorable, easygoing Zero we all like. See, just like you, people are always on the way to finding something that can satisfy them undoubtedly. As if what they already have was disappointing. They stare at the flame of the matches, read the tea leaves in the cup, and bustle around the instruments with star patterns. Now, back to the number we just talked about. Oh my! It's the prediction of your whole life! Can you believe that? You owe that spirited little genius a thank you. By the way, what do you see in her number? I always know you're a quick learner. You're very good at noticing new things. That's right. 37 is only 37. A nice, unique prime number which equals the word genius. At least everyone prefers to think this way. Why not deify the one that is able to reach the truth when you have the chance? It's much easier to pin your hopes on others than to blame yourself. I guess you also did that, right, darling? It's okay. She never says no. She just lets the hopes pile up on her shoulder because she simply doesn't care at all. What a good child.
"37. You just said Vertin's number is 0. Do you know what it means?"
Very clearly.
Would you be able to submit proof to Apeiron?
No problem.
Half of you in this hall have put in the pebbles. If 37's argument is found to be true, every argument Vertin has spoken in Sonetto's defense will be deemed valid. Sonetto will be exempt from the punishment. I will announce the result once 37's proof has been validated by Apeiron. Thank you for your time.
Sonetto!
Timekeeper, I'm so sorry. I tried my best, but still I couldn't understand the debate. I failed again.
What happened to her? Come here, little girl. We need to move her outside. Lie her down on the ground and wipe her palm and feet with dew and peppermint oil. That would be okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. The distinguished number 0. I'm kidding. I'm 210. Well, instead of the number, I prefer people call me the rhetorician.
I've heard your preachment. Pretty demagogic.
That's how logic works. With logic, I can prove that you'd cease to exist in the next moment, or that there are no other people in this world except me. Achilles can never outrun a tortoise, and a flying arrow is forever motionless. This debate is nothing but meaningless wordplay. That pacifist let you off this time. 6. A perfect number indeed. For he knows the benefit of reconciliation. Who wants to have blood on their hands and be devoured by the cycle of hatred? Yet it's a torture for any intelligent mind to hear such an immature debate. Can you feel the suffering of our leader now?
I'm sorry.
No apology needed, Miss Outsider. I also feel sorry for your pain. Given that 37 has revealed your number.
What do you mean?
37. Our evil little genius. The most cunning star of Hermes. She's been having fun revealing others' numbers for a long time. Our numbers are our essence. And it's also the most important proof we get once in our lifetime. But she enjoys taking that opportunity away from you. Just because her talent allows her to do so. She did that to her friend, too. She found out Sophia's number. But without casting an eye on that paper with her number on it, Sophia threw it into the sea. Sophia is Sophos. But you... I pity you.
It doesn't seem like trouble to me.
Alas, poor little Vertin. You still don't understand. The number of our souls suggests our fate. It might be changed through algorithms temporarily, swirling, shifting, or transforming alongside other changes occurring on the coordinate axis. But in the end, we can only be ourselves. 1 is thought. 2 is opinion. 3 is wisdom. 4 is strength. 5, enthusiasm. 6, harmony. 7, order. 8, philanthropy. 9 is restraint, while 10 is completion. 0, however, is in the middle of the axis, the origin of the frame of reference. It's neither positive nor negative, neither prime nor composite. Things are ever changing, but you stay the same. Your loneliness also lasts forever. This is your fate. Being exposed in full view of the crowd, yet you know nothing about it. 37 was acting on impulse, yet she opened Pandora's box. She leisurely reveals your fate. That carefree behavior makes no difference to picking up a shell on a beach. How could I not pity you?
Miss Vertin. "37's proof has passed the review. Your friend will now be exempt from the punishment for violating the rules. However, she has to take some catch-up lessons on the scripture. Please, Meet me at the hall tomorrow at noon. I would have words with you.
Cancelled? I'm just getting excited.
Before this negotiation begins, I wish to tell an allegory to the two of you. A group of people were imprisoned in a cave. Behind them, there was a fire. Before them was a tall, solid wall. Their legs and necks were chained and fixed, so they were constrained to look nowhere but to gaze at the wall in front of them. When they dropped their eyes, they saw their own body. When they looked up, the flickering light of the fire fell over them, and they only saw the shadows of what was passing behind them. No one had lived one day outside the cave. The shadows cast on the wall all there was to be perceived as reality. They had no knowledge of the real world. One day, one of them escaped from the cave, walked into the light, and saw the true world with his own eyes for the first time. Everything he saw or felt in the cave was nothing more than a mere shadow of the object's true form. Our world is a poor one, Miss Verton. The phenomenal world is the cave in this allegory, where we are surrounded by shadows or some humble fractions of the truth. It is ugly, frivolous, filthy, perishable, subject to decay, and filled with hollow desires and meaningless struggles. Only the wise can walk out of that cave and see the world as it truly is. In that eternal, transcendent world, everything is in its most perfect form. I pray that you, Miss Verton, the representative of St. Pavlov Foundation, and you, Miss Arcana, her counterpart of Manus Vindicte, would pay heed to my words. Everything you've been fighting each other for means no more than some fragments of phenomena to us. There's only one thing worth doing. That is, to seek higher wisdom, develop one's virtue, and achieve greatness in life. We have never set foot on the soil dampened by the storm, nor have we ever been involved in the disputes brought by the torrents of time. I beg you, do not take your conflict in the phenomenal world into the realm of truth.
For certain. It was never my intention to sully the sanctuary of truth.
Then, to prevent a situation like this from happening again, I would like to ask you two to carve your names on these 2 stone bangles and drip a drop of your blood on each of them. Once the bracelet is put on, no one will be able to remove it. From now on, as long as you're on this island, none of your people will draw blood from one another. or the bangle shall draw all the blood from you. The peace agreement is so decided.
I appreciate that. I'll sign it. The peace agreement.
Lady Vertin, we meet again. I wish the best to thy friend.
She's doing well, thanks to you.
You're most welcome. Thou shalt quench, for times hath changed. I would not wish to shed even a drop of Arcanist's blood in vain.
But Schneider should be the victim of a merciless bullet?
Vertin, my pitiful child. Did you forget? That merciless bullet cameth from a gun never belonging to me.
What's Manus Vindicte's purpose to be here?
Hearken the archaic wisdom. Just as thou doest. I am not surprised. I adore thy visage, Lady Vertin, emotionless in the storm. Alas, no man shall bravest the storm and live, including thee.
A wooden box in the Elitiaus base has my name on it. Was that your doing?
Sadly, it wasn't. I hope thee findeth the answer satisfactory.
It's burning.
Is that Miss Arcana? Miss Arcana! Please, don't go! Save us! And save Aunt!
No! Come back! Come back! You ignorant foreigners! I just started introducing vectors and matrices, and that's the most interesting part! Vertin! Great! You always show up at the right time and right place! Stop the masked people! Whatever it takes!
You should not make an enemy of the Earth.
Don't be serious. Stay focused.
Advice from the forest.
Go! Go! That's Cradle!
No need to worry. Good. No need to look back. Frost Dew is the armor of the forest. Good timing.
Serious? What's this?
No need to look back.
Ah, it seems to be mixed up. This should be fine, right? Bodyguards! Ah, where are the bodyguards? I know what this is. This is the gift. Well prepared for you.
I weave the gown with thorns. You shall repay with sacrifice of wounds. Advice from the forest.
What's this? Say hello.
Just like the prophecies of the woods, the scales have already been tipped.
Look at you, climbing out of the cave in the allegory, all dusty and dirty like a little savage. They must have tried to fill your little brain with long preachment. But you should feel lucky, because at least they didn't give you a quiz right after that. Oh, how modest you are. Looks like you didn't spend all your student days catching tree frogs. Try to reach the corners of your mind, if you would. And there you will find another bunch of people standing in front of a stone table. Teacher, instructor, tutor, the educator. Just titles like that. No names at all. No one gets to write down their names on that banner, after all. But they have nothing to complain about. You know what they say? What is reasonable is real. That which is real is reasonable. They showed you a broad avenue in their teachings where you could enjoy a sense of security with all the solid ground, convenient automobiles, and warm sunshine. And at the end of the avenue even lies an inspiring mission, to which you are expected to devote your whole life. There is a distinction between good and bad here, and it's as clear as our innate sense of right and wrong, like a floor of black and white tiles. Any stains on it will be noticed immediately. But in fact, there exists another path in the woods. It's much less traveled, leading to the unknown darkness which cannot be seen with eyes or proved false. You may even experience indescribable chaos and madness there. This path, however, has an excellent view, and it's one of a kind. The plants are thriving with bursting energy, and the flowers are blooming in a delightful atmosphere. So, which will you take? Oh, of course, as you've been on it all the time. But that's exactly why you know how inflexible it is. You know that even better than any of those old fellas who have spent decades on it, don't you? Just because you've been on it doesn't mean you can expect a comfortable journey, darling. But luckily, there's still one more way you can take. It would be a good choice if you want to enjoy the scenery without getting lost in the darkness. I'm sure you know that myth. You shall take the soul of your love out of the underworld, yet you shall not look back. That's right. You shall pass by the sleeping sirens, yet you shall not make a sound. The ones with the belief set off. They entered the dark woods barefooted, yet moved so smoothly, as if they were walking on the avenue. They kept their mouths shut and eyes forward. They never turned back, never picked up what was not theirs, never set foot on the forbidden lands, and never looked straight at the sacred greatness. They showed frugality, patience, and wisdom in the face of hunger and danger. So the beasts continued to lurk in the shadow, and the ones with the belief passed through the woods safely, until the path disappeared along with the direction sign. Then the first one to look back gave an exclamation before being exiled. Think about what I just said. That which is real is reasonable. Never look back in the woods, darling. If you don't want to be turned into a pillar of salt which can do nothing but wail, then never, ever look back. Yes, we'd better stay awake, stay calm, stay cautious all the time. But then there comes the problem. How can you ignore your love for those thriving plants and blooming flowers? How are you supposed to deal with the unstoppable feeling that overflows like a melody? Of course, you will cry the loudest cry, dance the wildest dance, drink the strongest drink, and vomit all the filth inside you. After all, there is no need to enter the woods if the soul-stirring scenery is not what you are after, right? No, so you'd better let it slip your mind, darling. Just let it go and hurry forward. Remember to keep your eyes shut and hold your breath. When you do so, the scenery will no longer mean anything to you, nor will the fragrance of the flowers. You will get out of the woods and reach where the truth lies. Is that what you want? Don't worry. We have plenty of time. You may come back at any time and pick another way.
There.
Good time.
Serious. Stay focused.
Advice from the forest.
Not lightning. Bodyguards! Where are the bodyguards? Go!
Cross you with the armor of the forest.
What's this?
Good timing.
Stay focused. Typhon won't give up his friend. Neither will Sotheby.
No need to worry. The reticent words are watching you. I weave the gown with thorns. You shall repay with sacrifice of wounds.
prepared it all.
This is the gift, well prepared for you. The ingredient store owner said it was very effective. Please believe me. Be serious. Stay focused. Go, go! I've already said that Sotheby doesn't need a bodyguard.
A truly marvelous hypothesis. I've